Hey, this is Andrew Brown. In this video, I want to talk about two services which have gone through a name change but are pretty much the same services. I have labs from them from a few years ago. The labs still work, as I thought the UIs would be different, but they're basically the same. Also, these services aren't that important. I don't particularly like these services, but again, they're on the exam guide. So I just want to point out where they are. And if you really want to go through them, you can make use of the original materials, which are still relevant today. So let's make our way over to Azure AI Services. And on the left-hand side here, you'll notice we have Language Understanding Classic and QnA Maker Classic. So I just want to show you how similar they are to the old ones. I'm going to go ahead and open these up here. Okay. And I'm also going to show you where the new one is, which will be under Language Services. So what I'll do here is we'll start with this one, Language Services. I'm going to go ahead and hit Create. And just select this one because this is going to also add Azure AI Search, which we apparently need now. And I'll just make a new group to say Lang U New. And I'm just going to say Lang U New. And choose this pricing tier here. This is going to spin up Azure AI Search. If you have another one, it will conflict. But we have one here. I'm going to checkbox this down below. We'll hit Review and Create. And we'll let that get going. While that is waiting, I'm going to go ahead and create Language Understanding, or also known as Lewis. Notice it's saying it's being retired 2025. There's a newer version. That's fine. If you can't create it and it's the future, I just trying to show you where this is. So Lewis, old. Right? In the future, this might not be available. So, really? What? Oh, we probably can't start with Lewis. Old Lewis. My old service. Name the resource. Your resource can only include alphanumeric characters. Okay. And it won't even let me do it. So, I was thinking that what I could do is show you the old one and be like, hey, it's the same experience, but it's not going to let me do that here today. So we'll go ahead and just ignore that. I'm going to create this one here. All right, so that deployment is complete. Let's go ahead in here and go into the language service. So over here we have Language Studio, and this is where the replacement or the reshuffling of those two services are. So we'll go ahead here and just choose the language resource here. And if you go here to Understanding Questions in Conversational Language, you'll see down below here, next generation of QnA Maker, next generation of Lewis. So the information from before is still relevant because if you open up, I think these go to the same place. Let's just take a look here. So we open up this one. Yeah, Language Studio. Hold on, I'm just going to click back here for a moment. If I click here, yeah, they're both going to end up opening a new project. Okay, I'm just going to choose English. We'll hit Next. Lang U example. And again, I'm not going to go ahead and make something make much here because I've done this before, and this service frustrates me to no end. The key difference here is that they've added Azure Search, and it integrates with OpenAI, but I can't get it to work consistently. But yeah, it's in here, and so the idea is you create a project, and we could add source files, we could do chit chat, whatever we want. Give this a moment here. But up here, we did question and answering. I think if we were to create another project the other way, let me just go up here for a moment. Let's go into this one. Yeah, it's the whole same UI, okay? I think if you go ahead and create a Lewis project, see these are completely separate. Say my Lewis project. We'll go hit next. Yeah, so it's a little bit different where you add your intent. So here it'd be like book flight. And the difference of QnA is very much it's like if then else, whereas the Lewis language understanding, it's actually an LLM model where you're giving information and you train the model, and so it is like a much more cost effective version of utilizing a large language model. So again, I have the older labs. Go watch the older labs. I just needed to show you how to get to these two services. The differences in the UI are very minor, with the exception that this one now integrates with Azure AI Search, which makes sense there. So I'm going to go ahead and spin down this resource. You will want to keep it up if you want to go ahead and do these. I personally, again, do not like these services, and they don't appear that much on the exam, so I'm just going to omit them here today. Okay, and I will see you in the next one. All right, ciao.